Loud Esmond here for Winners and Winers, trying to make you a better. And boy, you can't be much better than David and I when it comes to the XFL. I was 3-0, bud. No losses this weekend.
I went 2-0, had 2 picks. I hit both of them.
Yeah, and I think I'm 8-2 overall on the season. That's 80%. So you get much north of 60% in sports prognosticating. If you're at 80%, you're in rarefied air, my friend.
Right, absolutely.
What is it, do you think, that is making this league easier to pick than NFL, college? Because I honestly have not. I stayed on the Sea Dragons too long, just because I thought they'd be better than they were, and it was a mirage. And I also think I had some home team bias because I live in the Pacific Northwest. I'm about 90 miles from Seattle, and so I get a lot of Sea Dragons hype here.
Yeah.
So I might have been a little blinded by fandom a little bit, but those are my losses, are the Sea Dragons, both of them. Why are we able to do so well in this league?
I don't know. I think it's just one of those things with the NFL, for example. There's so many things to think about. You have to see what you're saying on the field. Then you've got long trends to go by. Then you're looking at where the money is, where's the sharp money, where's the public money. I think right now no one really knows what's going on, so it's kind of benefited us. It's been as simple sometimes as looking at the rosters, the coaching, and what you see, and there has not been based off of what you've seen, it's kind of been real there. I mean, with Houston and the Guardians stinking, there hasn't been a huge. I don't think there's been a ton of surprises. I also think that one thing I'm wondering if the market will catch up with is I think that they've been setting these totals a little bit too low overall.
Oh boy, did they ever this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know if just because of the clock stopping or not stopping after incomplete passes and out of bounds. I think that maybe the sports books thought about that a little bit too much, thinking that there's just going to be a ton of incomplete passes and the clocks will be running. But the rules definitely in the fourth quarter favor offense.
Right. Well, okay, so takeaways from this weekend. Number one, the Defenders and Battlehawks end of that game was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Battlehawks almost did it again. The Defenders basically had the game put away, and then they fumble on their own 3 or 5 yard line. The Battlehawks get the ball. All they had to do was run the clock out. Battlehawks get the ball. They score a touchdown. They get the 4th and 15, which is the XFL onside kick. And then, man, the Battlehawks just couldn't punch it into the end zone, even though they got down there. But then after that play was over, we had our first awesome fight. That was so good. It went on for several minutes. Players, coaches, helmets flying, and of course the announcers are doing the obligatory, this isn't what it's all about. You have an opportunity here. You should huff, 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 huff. And I'm like, yeah! Awesome! I want to see some passion, man.
They need it. I mean, they want to. I know it's an opportunity, but they also want this league to be around next year and the year after that. And a lot of that is entertainment. I mean, at the end of the day, we know that the NFL is going to be the highest level of football. So you've got to have other things that are going to draw attention to it, unfortunately. And fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
I think the Defenders and the Battlehawks have a little brewing rivalry. They don't. Those two teams didn't seem to like each other. And also, these teams practice together all week.
Yeah,
right?
They do.
So they're saying that there is some animosity building up between certain teams and players because they're together too much.
Yeah, which is different because you don't have where guys are really living in the city that they're representing. They're pretty much all, it sounds like, together in like hotel or dorm quarters, eating together. Coaches are together during the week, and then they kind of play representing different cities. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Two teams have kind of separated themselves. I'm going to say right now, my whatever they call the championship game in this league is Defenders representing the North and the Roughnecks representing the South. They're both 3-0.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting this week. I mean, the Roughnecks haven't had to play a road game yet,
Right.
so it'll be interesting. They'll be playing their first road game, but they'll also be playing it against by far the worst team in the XFL. And as far as the Defenders, we're going to see, I think, our first rematch is they're going to be playing the Vipers, the team that they beat earlier this season.
I got to say, that Vipers stadium sucks. It's bad. Did you see that game? The wind. Now, I don't know if a lot of people understand this, and I think I mentioned this last time. If you've spent any amount of time in Vegas, the wind freaking blows there. And I mean blows. It's the desert, okay?
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop the wind. And when the wind blows in Vegas, it's brutal, especially during the winter in Vegas. You know, the desert is really cold in the winter. And, you know, you get really cold temperatures in Vegas. And then when that wind blows, it was like 40 miles an hour sustained. One of my favorite moments of the weekend is the kicker kicking the ball out of the stadium and then the camera following it down into the parking lot. Okay, I mean, he kicked it, the wind took it, and woo, see ya. I mean, it was over the fence, over the wall, over the little hill outside, like my lost meatball. You know what I mean? And down it goes into the parking lot. Man, just love it. But that stadium sucks. They've got to do better in Vegas. The offense has really turned it on this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Except for, you know, the game with the Guardians, of course. I don't think that they have an offense. That was a defensive struggle. But the
Guardians, by the way, have 33 points on the season.
Yeah.
Scores this weekend: 56 points, 62 points, 35 points, and then Renegades and Guardians was 19. I was wondering why Bob Stoops was going for 1 point in the conversion to take a 10-9 lead. I'm thinking, man, don't you want to be a little more aggressive than that? But he realized what we are now realizing: the Guardians can't score. So all he needed was 1 point. He's like, that's going to be enough. These guys suck on offense and defense. At least they put in a little more effort.
One thing I think is interesting, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the stats on it, but I wonder what the percentages are on the 1 point versus the 2 point. Because sometimes taking it at the 5, it seems like it gives you some more options on your playbook, especially if you want to throw the ball. Gives you a little bit more room there.
The most gone for point is 2 points.
Yeah.
And they are scoring less of a percentage of 2 points than 1 or 3. There's a higher percentage of scoring from 3 points than there are from 2 points. That may be small sample size bias, okay? I think there's only been like 4 or 5 times people have gone for 3, and they've made like 3 out of 5 or something. From the 1, it's a similar number, but by far the most is going for 2 points, and they're making it less than 50% of the time from the 5. But again, that also just maybe the offense is still the first couple weeks where, because boy, the offense has sure looked better this last week than they did the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm interested with the total if they're going to still keep setting these in the mid 30s, or if we're going to start to see a few more games touch the 40s. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. You love those totals. I'm more of a, I like taking points on games. That's more in money line if I can see some values. But you've been absolutely dead on these being too low and nailing those. This coming week, by the way, just to run through the scores, Sea Dragons 30, Vipers 26, Defenders 34, Battlehawks 28, Renegades 10, Guardians 9, Houston Roughnecks 22, Brahmas 13. I had Seattle -3, which I'm shocked it covered because the Sea Dragons bit me 2 times before. Defenders -3, they won by 6, and Roughnecks -4, they won by 9 over the Brahmas. Coming up this week, here's your early lines. Sea Dragons -4 at Brahmas. I'm sorry, Brahmas at Sea Dragons. It's Sea Dragons -4. The Roughnecks go to Orlando and play the Guardians. Boy, they suck. Battlehawks -4.5 at at Battlehawks. First home game for the Battlehawks. And the Defenders go to that crappy field in Vegas to play the Vipers. By the way, best home field advantage is definitely the DC Defenders.
I think the Defenders are gonna. Actually, the Defenders are at home against the Vipers.
I'm sorry, they're at home against Vipers.
Yeah.
My bad.
But yeah, well, I think the Defenders and this is why they're the 2 best teams. I mean, the Defenders and the Renegades have a very strong home field advantage too. So far, they won all their games at home.
Yeah, I think the fans in DC are great. They've really been very supportive of the teams. So the one game on Saturday is Roughnecks at Guardians. Obviously, you and I both know where we lean there. The Brahmas at Seattle Saturday. I'm sorry, there are 2 games on Saturday. One at 4 and one at 7 Pacific. And then on Sunday, Arlington Renegades at Battlehawks. That line, Battlehawks -4.5, Renegades +4.5. You got any feel on that one?
You know, I don't know if I would. You said the Battlehawks are a 4.5-point favorite in that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I would. My early lean would probably be Renegades. That's I know the Renegades did not look good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know the Renegades did not look good last week, but I think that might be a few too many points there. I think I like the dog in that one so far, based off of what we've seen.
We'll see how the Battlehawks are at home. Remember, the Battlehawks had a great home field advantage 2 years ago, and that's a football-hungry city. So we'll see how they turn out. And then the Vipers are at the Defenders. That line -5.5 Defenders. The Vipers have kind of sucked. I think DC's one of the best teams in the league right now. I'd say the Defenders and the Roughnecks are probably my favorites for the championship game to meet. So
I mean, the Defenders beat the Vipers by 12 on the road just a couple weeks ago. So I mean, getting 5.5 at home, not too much of a surprise there.
No, I wouldn't say so. All right, anything you want to say to wrap this up and tell people who's sponsoring this, by the way?
Well, it'll be interesting to see here with like I said, the Roughnecks have been a great team. Sometimes I hope I didn't do on this video. Sometimes like Roughnecks and Renegades, I have them in my mind.
Yeah, you get them mixed up a little bit, right?
Get them mixed up, but the Roughnecks against the Guardians, it should be interesting with them on the road. Finally, wondering if the Guardians are just gonna step it up for this game or not. And we're brought to you guys by No House Advantage. So there's a promo code WNW. If you like playing fantasy sports, that promo will get you a first-time deposit bonus of up to $100.
He's David Delano. He's been on fire capping all kinds of things, including college basketball. And like I said, I'm 80%, folks, in the XFL and my premium bets. So go check those out. I'm gonna package up 3 picks this weekend. I'm gonna take 3 picks and I'm gonna put them in one package. You can get them all for one low price, less than you'd probably normally pay for a NFL pick. You're gonna get 3 picks, and I'm feeling it, David, in the XFL. So I like this league. I'm winning.
I'm liking it too so far. I think one of those things of actually like watching the game. Sometimes in the NFL from week to week, things can be so much different. With the XFL, it hasn't been the case so far.
Yeah. And by the way, Derek Carr going to the Saints, I think, is a great thing for him. I think it's a much better cultural fit for him than the New York Jets. I see Derek Carr in New York. I don't think he's a fit. But Derek Carr in the South, I think I think he'll fit in great. I'm Loud Esmond for Winners and Whiners. He's David. Thanks for watching, everybody, for us trying to make you a better.